Hello and welcome to the Iceman channel. Today we've gotten to the point in life where we're going to talk about the RFIDler. It's a project by Adam Laurie and Franken, and it was kickstarted a whole heap of years ago, and I got my device from then. You wonder what it is? Let me show you. This is an RFIDler. It's a PIC32 MCU using, and it has breakout ports to everywhere from that chip. It's kind of doable, and it's really thought through. I was talking to Adam Laurie about this one just as recently as yesterday, actually, where we talked about how RFIDler actually made it, you know, the code base is so much better than the Proxmox when it comes to these parts. And he said, yes, I was inspired by Proxmox, but everything he was doing wrong, I will do correct when it comes to that device. And he certainly did. So this video is about RFIDler. You find the source code for it on GitHub under Adam Laurie RFIDler, and you have to install that one yourself. I'm not going to talk about how you do that. It's different, and it's also, you can get it with a pre-compiled hex firmware, so you can get the latest. It's not very actively maintained anymore. It's more or less, you know, dead in its beats. The reason why this device is so good is because 7 years ago, Kevin Sheldrake made talks and added a lot of those HITAG2 attacks, and he implemented those and added it to this software. Let me just go over to Proxmox world, and I will show you. Under tools, HITAG2 crack, we have 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we have this is a CPU brute force, and this is the HITAG2 hell GPU, which we now disabled because we're using the improved version and call it crack 5 OpenCL here. So this is the ones that are implemented, but I rarely see anyone use it or ever used it. So RFIDler has that. Okay. If I'm going to take this away, I'm going to show you how it looks like when you operate. The RFIDler is a serial base, so you do Kitty or Minicom or whatever. You use a board speed of 115,200 in the baud rate, and mine is COM port 5. You have a different one. You get this little Kitty thing, and if you press enter and tell the device that you are ready to talk to it, you get immediately prompted with the complete command list that's available for you, and it's quite a lot. I don't know how well it's going to be shown, but it goes, it's what is it, 40 commands easily. Out of a bat, RFIDler, when you're in this, you understand that it runs on the device. It's not a client that is running on your local machine or anything, so it's quite fast and it's quite smooth in that sense, but it's also totally unforgiving. In my case here, there is no up arrow and down arrow, so when you do something wrong, you have to rewrite it all, and if you paste wrong, you have to rewrite it all, and if you have a space or whatever it is, you have to type it again. So it's kind of daunting in that sense to use it, but this is how it looks like. You can type in something like version. Let me type that properly for you. And I can see that my firmware version that's running now on it is the 203 beta or beta. You can see all the ports that's available. This is in the sense even better than the like a Raspberry Pi or anything, because you see all the pinouts that's available for this device, and it has a lot. It has available for read smart cards. It can read Vigand actually out of the blue, and has 2 connectors for it. So that's quite quite interesting. Now the reason why I like this one, I'm going to go to Zig again, is not this. It is because it's really good at low frequency. This device is just doing low frequency. And the antenna is a little bit dodgy because it's just 2 pins and plug in. So that's a little bit annoying in that sense, this version of it. And would be nice if I had a case to it, but I don't. So it is what it is. My cable's broken, so I have to solder it all together again and operate it. To show you what I mean with this little device is I have 2 cards available here for me. One is a HITAG2 card in password mode with a default key, and another one is in crypto mode. So we're going to use them now to see how it works. We're heading back into the RFIDler software again, or the client. And you go, what can I do? Yes, what can you do? You can do something. If I just press enter and anything is, it always shows you all the commands. And that is kind of annoying if you mistype something or just press it. If you press UID, you get a reader, but yeah, I can't do up arrow there. See what happens if I do that? Here you go. Come on, UID here. So UID, that's it. That is the UID of a tag. Great. If I do reader, it keeps on acting like a low frequency HITAG reader. So nothing there. You see if I present it and take away the card, you can see it increases. And I press enter to stop it. So okay, cool. Now I do that. What more do we have? Normally you want to do things like, understanding what kind of tag is it I'm looking at. And one of the smart things that RFIDler and Laurie added to it first was the auto tag command. That goes through all the different modulations and what is implemented in this firmware. So it understands HITAG1, HITAG2, the EM4100, the Q5, which is similar but not the same as the T5577, the HID 26 WinDollar, the EM, the FTX, the animal tags, the EM 305, and Tamagotchi. HDX is also animal, and Paxton, which is then HITAG as well based. So this one tag got a UID hit on HITAG2. So you would actually write something like set tag HITAG2, but I'm already in there, so it is what it is. When you have a star in front of it here, it indicates that there's a setting that is not saved to the onboard storage and non-volatile memory, NVM. So I can just type in save, and now that little star is there. It means that this device is configured to read and look and focus at HITAG2. Kind of awesome because you can get it into an auto run mode. So once you power up, it starts doing sniffing continuously, which is perfectly when you want to do this on the field or whatever. This is how I used to get the data when sniffing in my car. Anyway, back to this one. I can see that it's a UID for HITAG. I can auto tag to see what kind of tag I have presented to it. And now I'm like, what do I need to do? And here is where it fails a little bit. If I would use this card here, this card, I would need to use that password because that's the default password. But RFIDler is not that nice. So I would need something that's called login. This is also a little bit authenticating password mode. Okay, so this is related to HITAG2. So I would need to do login, and I would need to do 40, 49, 4B, and 52, like that. And I get an answer back. I will tell you more what this is, but right now I'm logged in. Now what? What can I do now? Well, now I can read. And if I press read like that, it tells me either read or reader. But I meant read, and I want to read block 0 to block 7. There are 8 blocks and it's 0 index based. So if I do this now, I can read a complete memory of this tag. That's how simple and how fast it is. Once you logged in. So if you want to let the RFIDler simulate this or emulate this one, it would do that out of a tag, out of a bag. If I swap this one now out to the crypto mode enabled card, I would go for, I would do something else. I cannot anymore use login because that's in the password mode. I would need to do the authenticate in auth up here in crypto mode. So I would need auth, and I would need 4F, 4E, 4D, 49, 4B, 52. And I get an answer back as well. And if I do now read 0 to 7, it can read it all. So what does this mean? Well, if I go for something called VTag, virtual tag, and this is a little bit strange concept, but virtual tag is when RFIDler right now has read this tag out, the memory out, and it put it in what they call for a virtual tag. So it's a virtual tag of HITAG2. And if I press or type in VTag right now, I will see the description, broken down description, more detailed of how it works of that tag I just read. So let's see if I can do it nicely. Here, it identified it as HITAG2. Obviously, we're not emulating it. The password block is this that was used before. This is ASCII implementation, Micron. The key block is 2848, says on there as well. The config block, the third one, is broken down to this. And what we see here is the config byte, this the first config byte in block 3. That is bit related, so all the bits here tells you what it does. So it tells you that this tag is read-writable, that it is in crypto mode, which obviously is. It's in HITAG2 mode, and it's made in Manchester. The password block 3 is this part. You wonder, what's the difference now? Why is it config block and password block? And it says 3 of it. It's because this part is a config byte, and it's broken down here. And this is the password. The password now is, well, you said there was a different password. It's true. There's a reader password and a tag password. So when the reader, or when you authenticate or you log in, when you log in with a password, the tag answers with this value. So it will answer with this block total, and you can verify that it knows the key by looking at this. So if we go up here, you see that this tag, when authenticated, it answered with this block 3 by saying, I know this is my tag password answer. So this is for the reader to know that the card actually also knows that it belongs to the system. Rarely used, but that's how it works. The rest of the data you see here from user block 4, 5, 6, and 7 are simple and easy user writable memory. So you have 4 times 32 bits to write. Not very much. How do you write them? Well, luckily enough, you can just do write, and you can say block. Here you go for the data. 1, 2, and that's it. And then I want to read block 7, and you get that out. And if I want to read blocks 0 to 7, I do that. It is very fast and does this so remarkable, nice. Once you got this hang of this, you realize, this is how it works. Great. So this is how you operate and support this low frequency HITAG2 cards in the RFIDler. It's very, very simple. But still, you need to know what you're doing, and it's quite allowing. You can do anything. This is like C language. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do, but you can fuck up. So please don't. Now that we've done this, another thing that you want to do is like figure out what more can we do with the HITAG, because it's known for all this HITAG attack where you recover the keys. And you want to know how that works. One of the commands you can test is the test HITAG. And it's just a self-test where it tells you how fast is the crypto engine and how and if it works. It does, because it pass and now here's the times of it, which is good. Okay, so this self-test works, and the rest, if you go up here, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more, and you go up here. Here are the HITAG implemented tags. Sniff PVM first. Here's a crack. Here's a key stream, retrieve card stream, and here's a reader, stores the NROM. That's the same thing. Clear store tags, count store tags, a list of store tags. Okay, cool. So what you don't know right now is, I go to this part here, is the tags in this. So this is the basis of this paper where all the attacks are discussed and they came up with. And if you want to understand what the different attacks does, you can either see and read this paper, you can see Kevin Sheldrick's talk about this. So they describe it all here. One of the attacks is generating a 1 terabyte of crypto stream, so you can look it up. And another one is figuring out crypto stream, which we're gonna do some of it. And then it's yeah. So we're now going into another part of this video where I'm gonna show you, because I got a HITAG reader here. I don't have a car, so I can show you with a car and how that works. But we're gonna see, this is a HITAG enabled reader. We're gonna sniff this one and see how well the RFIDler works with it. So I'm gonna put this little reader here and power it up. You're gonna hear some beeps maybe if you're lucky. And within 30 seconds we'll have a second beep here. There you go. And we take out the antenna and we put, yeah, let's see. Let's see, like this. Maybe. Very hard to do this and that. All right. Let's see if I can go back into that dual here. And I need to type and do it at the same time. So yeah, that's always funny. Sniff PVM is what we're going to do. Sniff PVM. Now it waits. I will now take my card and present it to the reader. And you see immediately that the RFIDler sniffed all the traffic and see what it tried to do and not do. Also see if I take the other card, the password moded card, same thing. Oh, let me break down this for you then. What's going on? It very fast identify. Oh, let me break it. I have to press enter to stop it. I go up to the top over here. It's very, very fast. And like I said, it's very unforgiving. So it found that the readers tried to start off. Okay, come on, stop to that. And here. And it finds that it does it. And if you look at the HITAG2 protocol, you see it sends 5 bits. And it sends 5 bits or 10 bits or 32 bits or 64 bits. So you see this is a command. This is start off. All right. And it goes down. And then I present the card. And you see that the reader tries to authenticate with this password. It doesn't get an answer back from the tag because that would have been shown here. It tries to with this card or this password. And then it finally would try this password. So this reader uses 3 different passwords to see if a card belongs to it. And since I don't have the answer, the card is not configured to that password. Even if we did that now, I wouldn't have the correct tag password to answer it to make the reader continue. From here on, we'll go down and see if we can look if it can do some crypto authentication, and it doesn't. So this reader is only configured to do password authentication. If you see data here, that's usually because this is invalid, so it missed something in the sniff. So don't take that for granted. It's a very short, limited protocol that it's using HITAG2. And if I had a card, I would have gotten the password out of the reader now. I would be able to authenticate against that card and read out the data. I would be able to use the RFIDler to emulate that card, or I would have used written to another card this password. So that's it for this video about RFIDler today. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments below if you have anything similar experience with RFIDler. Next video might be about using RFIDler to program a Paxton key fob or card, or not. Who knows? Have a good one.